She began her journey scrubbing floors, miles from the glare of spotlights and fame. Yet somehow this determined woman rose to become a familiar face on screens everywhere. Viewers loved watching her and her partner clash over bids in those intense auctions, always guessing what was scripted and what was raw. But the deepest truths unfolded once the filming wrapped up. When her longtime romance crumbled, she didn't fade away. Instead, she charged ahead, crafting a future brighter than those dusty lockers ever promised. And when you hear what she's built by age 45, you'll see why this feels like her most triumphant era. Right from the start, she proved she was forged in fire. Raised in Texas back in 1980, she grew up roughhousing with her brothers, who she once laughed about giving her more bruises than hugs. But she looks back now and says those wild days toughened her up, turning her into someone who could stand tall in a cutthroat world where showing any softness meant getting trampled. She once posted an old picture online, a kid with a shiner and a smirk that screamed defiance, proof that grit was in her blood from day one. Before the spotlight hit, her life was a far cry from glamour. On a podcast, she got real about a rocky upbringing, feeling like an outsider in her own home, even questioning if she fit the family puzzle. Deep inside, she sensed a bigger path waiting, refusing to settle for what life handed her. Long before her sassy catchphrases caught on, she dreamed of whipping up meals as a cook. But behind that bold front, she confessed in chats that shyness ruled her younger years. She'd glare at folks not from attitude, but from nerves knotting her up. Still, competition burned in her. She played ball for nearly a decade, pouring that fire into every swing. Surrounded by guys at home, she mastered holding her ground skills that paid off later against the big egos in her line of work. Her first gig, nothing flashy, just a spot at a cleaning service in '99, where she crossed paths with her future other half, who happened to be the one in charge. He chased her hard. She recalls wearing down her walls with sheer stubbornness. He tells it differently, teasing that she was the pursuer, shadowing him from her first shift. He owned up to not being the charmer type, leaning on jokes and charm to seal the deal. She saw it as nonstop awkward flirts at first, but eventually it clicked out. What sparked as office banter bloomed into something solid. Soon they were sharing a life, though they skipped the rings. Together, they welcomed 2 children, a boy and a girl, guarding their privacy fiercely but sharing bits of the tough roads. They've walked as parents on a parenting show. She shared the scare with their daughter, born unable to hear and with a split in her palate. Surgery at 6 weeks fixed the ears, but speech lagged, needing years of help. Cheerleading changed everything, building her words, her poise, her spark. Their son faced his own battle, a growth found during a routine check for another issue. Doctors watched it, but when troubles flared, it meant long hospital nights. She stayed glued to his bedside for months, watching him skip chunks of school. Motherhood her heart at first. She figured staying home would fulfill her, but isolation crept in, leaving her down and disconnected. She adored the kids, but craved her own pursuits. Work lit her up, making her sharper as a mom. He switched to loans after the family grew, while she stepped back briefly, but that quiet life chafed. She dove back in, hungry for direction, not before stardom. A slip-up landed her in hot water, a DUI in '07, probation, fines, and classes followed. She's steered clear since, but online critics still nitpick her fun nights out. She brushes it off, owning her love for unwinding and even ribbing herself about it. The recession slammed him next, no safety net. Salvation came from a relative running a storage place, tipping them off to locker sales. They jumped in, sifting through abandoned stuff for gems. Their place filled up fast. She quipped they could have starred in a hoarding special. That chaos birthed their thrift spot, flipping desperation into a steady gig. What began as survival morphed into a wild break they never expected. Their shop hummed along, but they kept hitting auctions, blending in as everyday hustlers. One chat with a producer there sparked it all. He was brewing a show idea. Months later, cameras showed up at their store. She was on shift, turning heads instantly. He joked later that her sharp outfit sealed it. The crew grilled him about that lady up front. He fired back with a quip about her dressing to impress. She clapped back quick, sparking the spark that screams TV gold. That test footage hooked the network, landing them spots on the series. At first, seeing herself broadcast nationwide jolted her. She even tightened up her fitness game after spotting extra pounds on screen. They burst in as the fresh duo, her steady sense balancing his wild bids, drawing eye rolls and laughs. Their real vibe hooked fans, but for her, breaking into that male-dominated scene meant proving her mettle every step. She shared the grit, unwelcoming vibes, endless dirt, grueling days. But her brother forged toughness shone, inspiring others to push through. Juggling shoots, the store, and family meant they were glued together, leading to epic clashes they vowed not to drag home. Fame's shadow loomed too. Creepy fan mail drove her to therapy and a secure home. Shaking her world, she hunkered down, fearing the outside. Then 2012 shattered. Her fake explicit pics and clips surfaced, tied to her name by a sleazy site runner out for clicks. It wasn't her, but the damage hit hard. She sued for millions over the smear and privacy breach. Terrified her loved ones would stumble on it, she won, but the tiny payout stung amid his online gloating. Rumors swirled after plastic surgery whispers, wild claims. She shut them down with wit. Mocking her own quirks, a co-star's lawsuit rocked the show, alleging fakes and tweaks for ratings, with fingers pointed her way. She stayed steady, channeling energy into wellness, trails, poses, clean eats. Fans reeled when they quit in 2014. Their spark was the heart of it all. But it wasn't burnout. A new gig called a spin-off, diving into their world, family chaos, business, and mock wedding prep, nodding to their unwed status. Teasers hinted at vows, blending affection and arguments. But undercurrents showed strain. He dodged commitment, skimping on plans, while she fumed over his habits like teaching kids bets or home bars. In a raw moment, she quipped that love sometimes means enduring till the end, foreshadowing cracks. Filming mishaps piled on. He accidentally broke her wrist mid-scene, but show rules hid the cast, leaving her with lasting clicks. They both confessed stardom felt double-edged, craving normalcy amid constant eyes. The new show leaned sitcom, exposing home quirks, but it fizzled after one run. Whispers grew by late 2019. Social feeds sparked questions: where was he? No joint pics since a family outing the year before. Comments probed. Split? All good. Silence held till 2020's show return. She'd confirmed the end 2 years prior. They'd bid solo now, keeping light japs for laughs. But off-screen exploded weeks later. A bar clash turned ugly, with shoves reported, cops called. He denied. But charges stuck. Domestic battery. He vanished from the series. She pressed on, rejoining seasons and co-hosting a lively podcast. Beer chats and all. Fame's mix of perks and pitfalls lingers. She yearns for anonymous grocery runs. But the paychecks soared. Starting at a couple grand per episode, it climbed to over 10 times that by mid-run, padding seasons long. Her worth now? Around $2 million, letting her ease the juggle with help. Kids always top her list. Post-auctions, she keeps buzzing low-key. Social shares, fan shout-outs, personalized clips for cash. Her circle stays tight, drive undimmed. If this story touches your heart, please share it. Through heartaches and highs, she's emerged stronger, proving resilience rewrites endings. Her net worth at 45 shocks, but it's her spirit that inspires, built from scraps into something unbreakable. If her journey moved you, hit like, subscribe, and pass it on. More tales like this await.